Welcome back. This is Module 3, Lesson 3, and this is the home stretch. I wouldn't be able to do this operations guide in good conscience without giving you some of my favorite insider tips. We're going to cover the Amazon Seller app. We're going to talk about how much metrics matter. We're also going to talk about supplier inspections and shipping and suspensions. The Amazon Seller app is a must-have for all Amazon sellers. It can be downloaded to your smartphone, whether you use iTunes or Android. It helps you to respond to customer questions with the contact response time metric. If this metric has been a problem, we recommend that you download it to your primary account and have those Google Drive responses linked to your smartphone. That way you're ready to go, and this will help you to bring down your average contact response time below Amazon's 24-hour recommendation. Metrics matter. My desire is that you can cut your learning curve whether or not you're a new seller or you've been on Amazon for a while. If you've sold on Amazon for as long as I have, I've definitely gotten into trouble and I've had some hiccups with my account. But now I've put systems in place to avert issues. Metrics are all based on the percentage of your sales, and they matter so much. All of the key performance indicators that were mentioned within Module 1 and Module 2 are important, and you need to take them seriously. So I just caution new sellers, and even if you've been selling for a while, start with what you're comfortable with. And that is probably for most sellers just starting with 1 or 2 items. If you go all gung-ho and start with an entire catalog of products before you fully understand what's required of you as an Amazon seller, it might overwhelm you, and especially if you don't have solid operations. Also, if you have less sales data, any issues that you have will look way more severe to Amazon because you don't have a lot of data points to prove to them that you are not a risk. Also, this is where I have to mention, you always want to be above board. Keep your metrics green, incorporate Amazon's relentless drive to be customer-centric within all of your interactions. These are great tips to use in all of these modules. I've also attached a direct link to Seller Central where you can see where Amazon's latest metrics are listed. Here's another operations tip. If you are sourcing internationally, as you add more SKUs to your catalog, it's really important that your supplier is on board with Amazon's requirements. It's really important that all of your items are correctly labeled. Customers get upset if they ordered a blue widget and a red widget arrives. You can expect negative feedback. That's why if you're sourcing in China, it's a great idea to have your supplier inspected to make sure that the various FNS SKUs or UPC numbers match up to the correct product. We've created PDF with visuals that show the UPC and the visual of the color and style that goes with that product. That might be something you want to incorporate as you add more SKUs. Now, if you do live in the US, you might want to have your first few items shipped directly to your office so that you can check the quality. Yes, it will add cost, but I would rather find an error than let a customer find the error. Now, if you've established a really great relationship with your supplier, you can have their shipments go directly to Amazon once they've proven that they understand the concepts and there haven't been any mistakes with the shipments that you've had go to your office. It's also of critical importance that you realize that Amazon's shipments are assigned to specific FBA warehouses. Amazon ships millions of items and they're counting on you as well as your suppliers to properly label inbound shipments to the correct warehouse. So, for example, if your first shipment went to Texas, do not reuse those labels because you don't feel like shipping it to a South Carolina warehouse maybe because the freight is higher. That decision's not up to you. Ship it to wherever Amazon tells you to ship it. Now, I couldn't do this a course without touching on suspensions. There's 3 different levels, and I want you to essentially follow the course material because it will protect your Amazon seller account with what you've learned. That's been my goal. I don't want to see another member of the amazing.com community post that they got banned from selling on Amazon. Every day, there's hundreds of really honest third-party sellers that get suspended, denied, or banned on Amazon. So there's 3 different levels, and I want to explain the difference. Suspensions mean you still have a chance to appeal. You need to work out a plan of action to essentially explain to Amazon how this problem is not going to happen again. Denied means that your appeal was rejected. However, you still have a chance to submit a revised plan of action. Banned, this is the worst of the 3 scenarios. Basically, you have been kicked out of Seller Central. Your appeal has failed more than once, and Amazon will no longer read your emails. Now, you might think, I'll just open another account. Not so fast. You'll also be informed that that's against Amazon's terms and conditions for you to open another Seller Central account. Sellers who have been suspended often get frustrated with the fact that they cannot pick up a phone and speak to someone to resolve the issue. Every minute a seller is suspended, they're losing money. In some instances, it can take weeks or months for sellers to get reinstated. Amazon selling privileges are revoked for 3 reasons. These 3 reasons include Amazon feels that your performance is taking a dive. They don't want to operate in a competitive marketplace that values good customer service if you are putting their reputation at risk. Essentially, you're not meeting Amazon's key performance indicators. The second could be that there's a violation of Amazon policies. Remember, it's Amazon's house and you have to abide by their rules. And the third is selling restricted products. Now, if you are getting complaints from customers about your products, you want to read your listing to check for any potential flags. You don't want to sell generic products as private label. If you are selling private label, tell your customers and Amazon what makes your product different to similar products on the marketplace. Talking about your product description, make sure that those are also accurate as well as honest. Now, if you do get a suspension, I want you to stop. I want you to gather that information and have a few people read your reply. You want to put your situation in the best light. This is just like an A to Z claim. Again, if English isn't your first language, hire a native U.S. writer off of Fiverr to help you with the suspension plan of action that you are going to submit to Seller Central. If your appeal is denied, at this point, your effort to revoke the suspension have not worked. And my opinion at this point is to hire someone who professionally handles Amazon appeals. There are a few people that you can find on Google, as the appeal process has now become a cottage industry. I've included a link below with some people that offer this service that can be found. Keep in mind, they don't offer a 100% guarantee that your appeal will go through. Now, if you're banned, you're done. You can attempt to contact Jeff Bezos, but at this point, you have exhausted Amazon's goodwill. Do not attempt to open another Seller Central account. They will link the IP address and they will essentially kick you out altogether. Here are the action steps for this final lesson. Download your Amazon Seller app. Also, at this point, if you've gone through all of the lessons and you've implemented all of the action steps with the various checklist and calendar items that we've suggested, you should be in great shape to avoid stepping across the bounds of Amazon's key performance indicators. Keeping Amazon happy and keeping your account healthy will ensure a smooth running operation. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the Streamlined Seller Operations course. You should feel really proud because at this point you have essentially over 10 years of operational exposure condensed. You know more than most Amazon sellers. You've established your brand's vision statement, mission statement, and core values. That will help you as we go on to the next training session on outsourcing. You've also learned about KPIs, key performance indicators. You know what's important to keep Amazon happy in their relentless drive for being the most customer-centric company, and then you know what you need to run your business. I think these are all phenomenal techniques and operational know-how that you have now to really propel your business to the next level. We've also discussed more advanced operations, and we talked about inventory management and sales velocity, and even some tips and tricks on how to even shorten the items that we discussed. So thanks so much for joining me on this journey. If you have any questions, definitely ask them in the community, and you can look forward to me responding to them. Have a great day, and I'm looking forward to teaching you outsourcing. Bye for now.